Did you know that over 1 billion vinyl records are still sold every decade, many of them featuring rock legends who started their careers more than 50 years ago? From Mick Jagger dancing across stages in his 80s to Bob Dylan winning the Nobel Prize for his lyrics. Here are 50 men rock stars of the 1960s to 1990s, then and now. 1. Paul McCartney. At the heart of a revolution was Paul McCartney. In the 1960s, he played bass and sang with the Beatles, creating songs from sweet to strange. He turned the studio into a playground, making music that felt like dreams. After the band ended, Paul didn't slow down. He formed Wings, tried new genres, and collaborated with stars like Michael Jackson. Beyond music, he spoke up for animals and nature. Today, in his 80s, he still performs records and fills stadiums. In 2020, he made an album by himself. In 2022, he rocked a huge concert stage. Paul never faded. He keeps making history. 2. Mick Jagger. Like fire, Mick Jagger hit the stage in the 1960s. As lead singer of the Rolling Stones, he growled, shouted, and moved like no one else. The band wasn't just famous, it lasted. Decade after decade, Mick kept the Stones alive with hits like Angie and Start Me Up. He also made solo albums and acted in films, but his true love stayed with the band. Even in his 80s, he struts across stages, singing and dancing for fans of all ages. In 2023, he helped launch another hit album. Time can't catch Mick. He runs too fast and sings too loud to stop. And Bob Dylan. Alone in the 1960s with just a guitar and harmonica stood Bob Dylan. His voice was rough, but his words changed lives. Songs like Blowin' in the Wind and The Times They Are A-Changin' gave people courage. Dylan didn't stay still. He plugged in his guitar, confused fans, and kept evolving. In the 1970s, Blood on the Tracks showed his heart. He never stopped touring, often changing songs on stage. In 2016, he won the Nobel Prize for Literature, not music, but lyrics that felt like poetry. Dylan didn't care about fame. He just kept creating. Even now, he sings with fierce fire. 4. Elton John. In the 1970s, Elton John exploded with Wild Glasses, bold suits, and songs that hit deep. He didn't just play piano, he attacked it with heart. With Bernie Taupin writing words, Elton made hits like Rocket Man and Tiny Dancer. In the 1980s, he faced sickness and struggles, but he rose again. He spoke openly about being gay and raised millions for people with immunodeficiency. He also sang for Disney, performed with young stars, and kept making hits. Now in his 70s, Elton did a huge farewell tour. But his songs never said goodbye. They still play everywhere, from radios to hearts. 5. Bruce Springsteen. With tales of working-class dreams and long night drives, Bruce Springsteen broke through in the 1970s. Born to Run made him a legend. But Bruce never became distant. His songs told real stories, some loud with power, others soft with sorrow. He kept recording, touring, and winning awards. After 9/11, his music brought comfort. After losses, he sang of healing. Even now, in his 70s, Bruce plays shows that last over 3 hours. He released albums that sound like vintage rock. He performed solo on Broadway and co-hosted a podcast with the president. Bruce still writes America's story, one verse at a time. 6. Billy Joel. In the 1970s, Billy Joel stepped up to the piano with stories to tell. His hands moved fast, and his songs spoke to the tired and hopeful. Piano Man wasn't just music, it was a mirror to real life. Billy explored pop, jazz, and soul, all while sounding like himself. He wrote tunes that danced through history, like We Didn't Start the Fire, and gentle ones like Vienna. Though he stopped making new pop in the 1990s, he never left the stage. Today, he sells out Madison Square Garden. Even without new albums, Billy's music still matters, and his voice sings truths. 7. Ringo Starr. He wasn't the flashiest Beatle, but Ringo Starr had the beat that kept everything together. His drumming on songs like Rain and Come Together gave the band its groove. He sang with warmth, making hits like With a Little Help from My Friends, Feel Like Hugs. After the Beatles, Ringo kept recording, working with friends, and making joyful tunes. In 1989, he formed the All-Star Band, a group of legends touring together. Even now, in his 80s, he travels the world, smiling and flashing peace signs. He's not just a drummer. He's proof music can be simple, kind, and full of joy. 8. Ozzy Osbourne. As Black Sabbath's wild frontman, Ozzy Osbourne helped invent heavy metal. His voice haunted songs like Paranoid and War Pigs, but trouble followed. He was kicked out, battled addiction, and nearly vanished. Then came a comeback. His solo album Blizzard of Oz rocked hard, proving he still had power. He bit a bat on stage once. Shocking, yes, but also a sign of pain. In the 2000s, a reality show made him oddly lovable. He talked slowly, but lived loud. Even now, after surgeries and illness, Ozzy still releases music. He may wobble, but he won't stop rocking anytime soon. Robert Plant. With a voice like thunder, Robert Plant led Led Zeppelin. He screamed, whispered, and soared in songs like Black Dog and Stairway to Heaven. When the band ended, Plant moved forward, not back. He explored music from around the globe, North Africa, bluegrass, folk, always chasing fresh sounds. He didn't want to be stuck in the past. He teamed up with Alison Krauss for soft, haunting songs that earned awards and love. Now in his 70s, Robert keeps performing, always curious. He could have rested on Zeppelin's fame. Instead, he chased new melodies. The past made him famous. His future keeps him great. 10. Eric Clapton. With a guitar that sounded like it was crying, Eric Clapton didn't just play. He showed deep feelings. In the 1960s and 70s, he played with the Yardbirds, Cream, and later on his own. His song Layla was about heartbreak. Tears in Heaven was about someone he lost. Clapton didn't care about fame. He cared about honest music. Over time, he played less, and some things he said caused arguments. But his hands still remember the music. Even now, he can move people with a few notes. He may be older, but his guitar still speaks. Clapton is music history, and his sound won't fade. 11. Brian May. Using old wood and bike parts, Brian May built his guitar and called it the Red Special. It had a sound like no other. It could whisper, roar, or float. He played with Queen and made songs like Bohemian Rhapsody and We Will Rock You. Brian didn't want to be a big star. He wanted the music to matter. After Queen slowed down, he went back to school and earned a PhD in space science. He also helps animals and supports art. Today, he still plays with Queen and Adam Lambert. On stage or off, Brian balances loud music with thought. 12. Jimmy Page. Before Led Zeppelin, Jimmy Page played on many songs without credit. When Zeppelin started, he became known for mystery and skill. He used cymbals, echo, and strange sounds to make music feel like magic. He planned every note, crash of drums, rise and fall. After the band ended, he stepped away from fame. He didn't chase the spotlight. Sometimes he works on old songs to keep the memory alive. Jimmy doesn't need to say much. His guitar already said it all. Even now, when he plays, people listen. He helped shape rock and still protects its soul. 13. Roger Waters. Pink Floyd sounded deep and dark thanks to Roger Waters. Albums like The Wall told stories about fear and pain. But Roger liked control, and that caused fights in the band. He left, and Pink Floyd moved on. Still, Roger didn't stop. His solo music was bold. He sang about war, greed, and power. His shows looked like protests and made people think. Some agree with him, others don't. But no one forgets him. Now, even older, he still uses music to fight. His voice is softer, but the message is strong. Roger never stopped believing music can speak truth. 14. David Gilmour. When the band was falling apart, David Gilmour joined Pink Floyd and helped build it back up. His guitar didn't play fast, it played with heart. His solo and Comfortably Numb made people stop and feel. When Roger left, David took the lead. He made soft, hopeful songs. Later, he made solo music that was quiet and kind. He played in ruins and theaters, turning sound into peace. David doesn't shout. He lets his guitar speak. His music is calm, but it goes deep. Even now, he plays like a painter with sound. He proves peace can be powerful too. 15. John Bon Jovi. In the 1980s, John Bon Jovi came in loud and proud. He had big hair, a leather jacket, and a strong voice. Songs like Livin' on a Prayer made him a star, but John changed. In the 1990s, he sang about deeper things. He acted in movies and helped people in need. He built homes and gave food to the hungry. Now, his voice isn't what it was. Time changes us all, but he keeps going. He shares his life with fans, the good and the bad. John still sings from the heart, proving real rock stars never quit. 16. Sting. Fame came with the Police for Sting, whose real name is Gordon Sumner. Their songs mixed rock and reggae, and hits like Roxanne made him a star. But Sting left at the top. He wanted new sounds. He mixed jazz, world music, and classical styles. His songs told stories and spoke about problems. As he got older, his voice grew richer. He played jazz versions of old songs and added strings to new ones. Sting never stopped changing. He didn't want to do the same thing forever. He became more than a rock star. He became a voice people trust. 17. Steven Tyler. Loud and full of fire, Steven Tyler came in with Aerosmith. His voice was sharp, high, and unforgettable. Songs like Dream On and Sweet Emotion made him famous. But fame brought trouble. Steven had problems with addiction and wild living. He nearly lost it all. Then he came back. In the 1990s, he sang Janie's Got a Gun and fans returned. Now he's on a farewell tour. His voice is older but still strong. He sings with truth and power. Fans listen. Steven talks about healing and growth. He proves even wild hearts can change. He's still loud and real. 18. Roger Daltrey. The voice of The Who belonged to Roger Daltrey. He didn't just sing, he roared. Songs like Won't Get Fooled Again were full of power. In Tommy, he played a silent boy and became famous. Even when the band had problems, Roger kept going. He made solo music and acted in movies. His voice aged but stayed strong. He didn't stop. He grew wiser. Today, in his 80s, he still sings, sometimes with an orchestra. He also helps kids with cancer through his charity. Roger sings with heart, not just volume. Loud music can still be kind. His fight for good never ends. 19. Keith Richards. Like time forgot him, Keith Richards still rocks. As guitarist for the Rolling Stones, his music is rough, real, and strong. Songs like Jumpin' Jack Flash and Street Fighting Man have lasting energy. He wrote riffs that stick in your head. He turned wild sounds into magic. Even with late nights and tough living, he never stopped. Keith helped keep the Stones alive when many thought they were done. His solo songs were slower, but full of feeling. He loves the blues and always smiles like a rebel. Keith still plays with Mick Jagger. Music keeps him alive. 20. Don Henley. Truth came in a calm voice with Don Henley. As drummer and singer of the Eagles, he helped make songs that felt like sunsets and sad goodbyes. His voice was warm, deep, and full of feeling. In Hotel California, he sang about a place that was beautiful and strange. In Wasted Time, he sang with so much heart it made people cry. When the Eagles ended, he kept going. His solo song, The Boys of Summer, talked about growing older. Dirty Laundry made fun of fake fame. Don never needed to be loud. His music said everything clearly. Today, he still writes and plays with strong emotion. 21. Joe Walsh. In the 1970s, Joe Walsh joined the Eagles and made their music louder and sharper. Before that, he was famous for his band James Gang and a song that sounded like a storm. His guitar talked using a tool called a talkbox. In Hotel California, his guitar solo became one of the greatest ever. Even while his music soared, Joe struggled. He lived wild, battling addiction and chaos. But through it all, he made fun, honest songs. Now he's clean and healthy. He still plays with the Eagles and helps good causes. Behind his calm look, the fire remains. His guitar still speaks with wild energy. 22. Tony Iommi. After losing 2 fingers in an accident, Tony Iommi didn't quit guitar. He made special fingertips and created a new way to play. His sound was dark, loud, and strong. He started a new kind of music, heavy metal. With Black Sabbath, he made music that felt powerful. He stayed even when others left. His playing turned pain into something amazing. He worked with many other artists. Tony was quiet in person, but his guitar was loud. Now he can't tour due to illness, but he still writes and helps younger musicians. His songs prove strength grows from struggle. 23. Geddy Lee. Able to sing, play bass, and use a keyboard all at once, Geddy Lee was the brain of Rush. His bass was fast and full of life. Songs like Free Will and YYZ made people think and move. He sang about science, life, and big ideas. With his bandmates, he built music like stories. After Rush ended, Geddy stayed busy. He wrote a book about bass guitars and is now writing about his life. That book will share fun, facts, and feelings. Geddy still plays and meets fans. He shows that curiosity never ends. In a book or on stage, Geddy still rocks. 24. Alex Lifeson. Standing out without being loud, Alex Lifeson made Rush's guitar work feel like a place to visit. His sound was soft, strange, and full of beauty. Songs like Xanadu and Limelight had parts that shimmered and echoed. He used effects and odd chords that made songs feel magical. After Rush ended, Alex played with new friends and kept making music. He never stopped sharing. He let his guitar talk in different ways. Today, he still creates. His style isn't about being fast. It's about making people feel something. Alex lets music breathe and people follow. 25. Phil Collins. Starting as a drummer in Genesis, Phil Collins stayed in the back, keeping the beat. But one day he became a singer, and everything changed. In the 1980s, he made exciting sounds. Then he went solo. His songs were full of feeling. He sang about love, loss, and sadness. His voice was in movies, on the radio, and everywhere. People all over the world knew his songs, but playing drums hurt his body. He had to stop. Still, he kept singing. His son played drums while he sang. He went on one last tour. Now he rests, but his songs still play. 26. Peter Gabriel. Making concerts feel like dreams, Peter Gabriel surprised people in Genesis with wild costumes and bold ideas. Then he left and started solo music. He didn't care about being popular. He wanted to say something real. He used sounds from all over the world. His songs talked about love, fear, and unfair things. He mixed art, music, and tech. Even now, he makes new things. His latest project changes as you hear it. It's not just music, it's a world you walk through with your ears. Peter doesn't stop growing. He shows music can be big, bold, and full of feeling. 27. Angus Young. Wearing a school uniform on stage and playing guitar like lightning, Angus Young has rocked loud with AC/DC since the 1970s. The music was fast and full of fire. When Bon Scott died, many thought it was over, but Angus kept going. They made Back in Black with a new singer. It became one of the biggest albums ever. He never followed trends. He just played rock his way. Now older, Angus still performs. He moves slower, but the spark is still there. His guitar still screams with joy. Angus proves true. Rock never grows old. 28. Brian Johnson. After Bon Scott died, Brian Johnson joined AC/DC. His voice was loud and rough like thunder. He sang on Back in Black, which sold over 50 million copies. It became one of the biggest albums ever. Brian didn't look like a star. He wore a cap and looked like a neighbor. But when he sang, it felt like lightning. For 30 years, he rocked crowds. Then he started losing hearing. People thought he might stop, but new tech helped him hear again. He came back strong. Brian didn't just return to the band. He came back to life, singing strong. 29. Roger Taylor. Queen's drummer was Roger Taylor. He didn't just keep time. His beats gave their songs power. He also sang, sometimes lead, sometimes backup. His voice had grit and strength. He helped write songs too. After Freddie Mercury passed, Roger kept Queen's spirit alive. With Brian May, he played with Adam Lambert as singer. Roger still plays drums like they matter. He never stopped. Off stage, he helps others too. He supports charities and fights illness. Now in his 70s, he's still full of energy. Roger shows that rhythm can last forever. The beat goes on because he's still behind it. 30. Richie Sambora. In the 1980s, Bon Jovi was on every radio. Richie Sambora was its heart. His guitar was cool but full of feeling. In Wanted Dead or Alive, his sound made the song feel true. Richie helped write hits and added his voice too. While others played fast, Richie played with emotion. He told stories with his guitar. Later, he left the band. Some thought he was finished, but he kept going. He worked with Orianthi, played blues, and made music. He didn't want fame. He wanted to stay real. Now older, Richie still plays with heart. His sound is honest, and his fire never left. 31. Joe Perry. Making his guitar sound wild, like a storm waking up, Joe Perry powered Aerosmith songs like Walk This Way and Cryin'. His style was messy, loud, and honest. Joe once left the band but came back. His sound got darker. He didn't care about being clean. He cared about feeling. While others polished their look, Joe stayed raw. Now he plays with the Hollywood Vampires alongside Alice Cooper and Johnny Depp. It's a strange group, but Joe fits in. His music is still fierce. His guitar still roars. Joe Perry never changed for the world. He just kept playing truth. 32. John Paul Jones. Quiet but key, John Paul Jones shaped Led Zeppelin with bass, keyboards, and more. His sounds made songs feel full and deep. While others stood in the spotlight, John stood back and made everything stronger. His music was smart and beautiful. After the band ended, he didn't stop. He made music for films and joined new bands. He liked strange new sounds. John didn't need attention, he just loved music. Even now, he writes and plays. He shows being quiet doesn't mean small. He was calm in the storm, and still is. 33. Paul Rodgers. In the 1960s, Paul Rodgers stepped into the spotlight with a voice that was strong and real. He led free and sang All Right Now, a rock classic. In the 1970s, he joined Bad Company and gave the world Feel Like Making Love. His voice had heart and power. While others faded, Paul kept going. He sang with feeling. He even joined Queen for a while. He didn't copy Freddie Mercury. He brought his own sound. Paul Rodgers never chased fame. He just sang from the soul. 34. Andy Summers. Making the Police sound special, Andy Summers added soft, dreamy guitar while the band played loud, reggae-inspired rock. He used effects that made music sound like waves or air. Every breath you take became magical because of his calm style. He knew when not to play. That made his parts powerful. Before rock, Andy studied jazz and classical music. He brought that into the band. When the Police ended, he kept going. He worked on music, made art, and wrote books. He stayed creative. His sound may be quiet, but it stays with you. 35. Sammy Hagar. Before Van Halen, Sammy Hagar was already a star. In 1985, he joined and brought his own voice. He didn't copy David Lee Roth. He made something new. They called him the Red Rocker. His songs were loud and full of life. Why Can't There Be Love was a big hit. Sammy wrote about hope and freedom. With him, the band had 4 #1 albums. He added strength to the music. Later, Sammy started businesses and helped people. Now, in his 70s, he sings and smiles. He didn't fade. Sammy is still loud, happy, and full of fire. 36. David Lee Roth. More than a singer, David Lee Roth was a show. With a big smile and wild jumps, he lit up the stage. With Van Halen, he made concerts feel like a party. Songs like Jump were full of fun. David didn't care if he looked silly. He loved making people smile. In 1985, he left the band after arguing with Eddie Van Halen. He went solo, tried new styles, and stayed surprising. Today, he still appears now and then. He paints, tells stories, and sings. His voice changed, but his spirit is still wild. Roth never stopped being himself. 37. Mark Knopfler. Using fingers instead of a pick, Mark Knopfler made music feel like painting. With Dire Straits, he told stories through songs. Sultans of Swing and Money for Nothing were more than hits. They were scenes you could picture. His voice was soft but full of meaning. He didn't care about fame. He cared about the truth. As the band grew, so did his ideas. Brothers in Arms was thoughtful and strong. After Dire Straits, he kept making music. He wrote for movies and made quiet, touching songs. Mark didn't chase the spotlight. He made music that meant something. 38. Peter Frampton. A star in the 1970s with Frampton Comes Alive, Peter Frampton used a talk box that made his guitar sound like a voice. Songs like Show Me the Way made fans feel close to him. He wasn't loud, he was smooth and kind. Later, fame faded, but Peter kept going. He worked with stars like David Bowie. He played guitar with heart. Then he got sick. A muscle illness made playing hard, but he didn't quit. He went on a final tour and made a blues album that hit #1. Even with weak hands, his spirit stayed strong. 39. Steve Perry. With a voice that filled stadiums, Steve Perry sang Don't Stop Believin' with Journey, a song that gave people hope. His voice soared, smooth and full of feeling. People called him The Voice. Then he got hurt. His body and heart ached. He left and stayed quiet for over 20 years. Fans missed him. In 2018, he returned with a solo album, Traces. It was soft and honest. He didn't sing to impress. He sang to share. Now he appears sometimes. He protects his peace. Steve Perry reminds us even quiet voices still touch hearts. 40. Tommy Shaw. Not the first star of Styx, Tommy Shaw changed everything. when he joined in the 1970s. His voice and guitar added energy. Songs like Renegade showed his power and heart. He didn't just play, he helped write big songs and lit up the stage. Tommy didn't stop with Styx. He joined Damn Yankees and made more music. He kept moving while others slowed down. Today, he still tours with Styx, singing strong and playing fast. He also does solo shows and plays with orchestras. Tommy grew with time, but kept his fire. He still plays like the dream never ended. 41. Rick Nielsen. Like the fun uncle of rock, Rick Nielsen wears wild clothes and plays guitars with 5 necks. As the heart of Cheap Trick, he made songs like Surrender, Feel Big, and Fun. His music was full of skill, even when it looked silly. He mixed jokes with talent and made fans smile. Rick loves guitars. He owns hundreds. Even now, in his 70s, he jumps and rocks the stage. Cheap Trick still tours and makes songs. Rick plays like it's always the 1970s. His energy is endless. Rick Nielsen proves rock can be loud, wild, and full of joy. 42. Robin Zander. Bringing calm power to rock, Robin Zander sang with control and heart while others shouted. As the voice of Cheap Trick, he gave songs like The Flame a smooth, strong feeling. He could sing anything. They called him the man of 1,000 voices. On stage, he stayed cool while the band went wild. That balance made the group shine. Time passed, but his voice stayed strong. He still tours, still sings, and connects with fans. Robin didn't chase trends. He stayed true to his sound. Even now, he sings with heart and soul. His calm voice still shakes rooms. 43. Ian Anderson. Breaking the rules from the start, Ian Anderson played the flute while standing on one leg, leading Jethro Tull into something new. Their songs mixed rock, folk, and even classical music. Ian wrote about nature, faith, and people. His words were deep and smart. The band changed members, but Ian stayed the leader. He didn't follow others. He made his own path. Today, Ian still plays shows. His voice aged, but his flute still dances. He mixes old songs with fresh ideas, keeping the music alive. Ian Anderson didn't become something new. He became more of himself. The flute never sounded more rock. 44. Steve Winwood. With a voice beyond his age, Steve Winwood sang Gimme Some Lovin'. As a teen with the Spencer Davis Group, then came bands like Traffic and Blind Faith. Later, he became a solo star. Steve could play guitar, drums, and keyboards. He loved jazz, soul, rock, and blues. In the 1980s, he made soft hits like Higher Love. He wasn't afraid to change. He followed the music, not the charts. Now he plays smaller shows and works with artists. He doesn't need the spotlight. His songs still glow. Steve's voice is calm, his heart full, and his music still speaks. 45. Jackson Browne. Never one to dance or shout, Jackson Browne simply told the truth. In the 1970s, his songs spoke of love, life, and sadness. Albums like The Pretender felt like poems. He sang about war and pollution too, never raising his voice but always being heard. Jackson didn't try to shine. He let his words do that. Now older, his voice is rougher, but his heart stays the same. He still writes, still sings, and fans keep listening. Young and old, they find something honest in his songs. Jackson shows you don't have to be loud to be strong. Just be real. 46. Tom Johnston. Making the Doobie Brothers rock in the 1970s, Tom Johnston lit up fast, fun songs with his voice and guitar. He didn't chase trends. He stayed true to rock. Even when he got sick, he didn't stop. He came back, bringing the band's fire. His music never lost its beat. Now, with gray hair, Tom still tours. His voice is strong, and his guitar still roars. Fans feel young when he plays. Tom proves rock doesn't age. He plays with joy and power. He's not just part of the past. He brings the music to life today. 47. Graham Nash. Starting in the 1960s with the Hollies, Graham Nash later joined Crosby, Stills and Nash. His voice was soft but strong. His songs asked for peace and brought hope. He sang about war, kindness, and dreams. Graham also took photos showing how he saw life. He never shouted. His message didn't need to. Even now, in his 80s, he sings and writes. His voice is gentle, but it still moves people. He reminds fans peace is worth singing for. Graham shows music can change minds, not with noise, but with care. His voice still matters. 48. John Fogerty. Sounding like he came from the swamp, though he was from California, John Fogerty sang about war, workers, and tough times with Creedence Clearwater Revival. His voice was rough and real. His guitar felt like dirt and fire. But fame brought trouble. The band broke up and he stayed silent. He didn't sing the songs that made him famous. He was angry and hurt. Then, when people thought he was done, he returned. He played with his sons. His voice was older, but strong. Now, he plays all over the world. He found peace. His music moves faster than bad memories. 49. Burton Cummings. Giving Canada a voice, Burton Cummings sang American Woman and These Eyes with the Guess Who. His voice was strong and full of feeling. He didn't just sing, he poured out emotion. Later, when the band split, he went solo. His songs slowed, but they went deeper. He sang about pain, hope, and starting fresh. Fans kept listening. He kept remembering. Now, he still plays big shows. He sits at the piano, his voice shaking but sure. Each note tells a story. Burton gives all of himself in each song. His music takes you back in time and into the heart. 50. Ray Davies. Telling small stories with the Kinks, Ray Davies didn't need to be loud. He sang about tea shops, quiet streets, and everyday people. Songs like Lola and Waterloo Sunset were like pictures in sound. Ray changed styles often. He argued with others, even himself, but never stopped writing. After the Kinks faded, he kept working. He wrote songs, plays, and books. He didn't tour much, but fans still waited. His name became quiet, but strong. Ray showed that rock doesn't have to shout, it just has to mean something. He proved music about real life can last forever.